So Bradford City have today confirmed that former Mansfield Town CEO and Wigan Athletic chairman David Sharpe has joined the club as our new head of football operations. And in today's video, I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts and opinions on this news. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below, not just on this appointment, but what it means for some of our other staff like Ryan Sparks and Stephen Gent, them sort of people. But I personally believe this is a really good appointment for the football club. I was massively impressed with him during his time at Mansfield Town. You look at the recruitment they've made over the last couple of seasons, largely down to someone like a David Sharpe, and they're now reaping the rewards of that. Probably going to go on and definitely get promoted, probably will win the league doing that as well. So I think this is a really good appointment for the football club. Make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. Now, since Stefan Rupp's open letter to the Bradford City fans, I can't actually remember how long ago it was, maybe about a week, 10 days ago, something like that, there's been a lot of rumours about who's going to be potentially coming in, because it was mentioned massively that we are going to be appointing somebody new in the sort of staff department off the field, and it now seems like this is clearly who they were talking about. There were lots of rumours, some maybe saying David Sharpe, a lot of people thinking Paul Jewell was going to come in as director of football, like I mentioned in yesterday's 6 Things We Learned. If you haven't already gone and checked that out, make sure to go do so. Paul Jewell was really before my time, so I don't really have that connection to him, but this appointment is massive for us, and there was some maybe concrete evidence that it looked like it was going to happen yesterday around 3 PM when reliable sports journalist Peter O'Rourke tweeted saying, "Understand Bradford City are set to appoint former Mansfield and Wigan chief David Sharpe as their new head of recruitment." Obviously, it has been confirmed that he's not the head of recruitment. Stephen Gent will be staying on board. He's come in as head of football operations. It's a new role, pretty much like a director of football. I take that. Simon Parker confirmed that it sounded like he was going to be coming in, but it won't be as the head of recruitment. Then this morning at 10:59 AM, Bradford City tweeted saying, "Welcome to David Sharpe, who arrives as our new head of football operations." And the article does then read, "Bradford City AFC is delighted to announce the appointment of David Sharpe as the club's head of football operations. The former Wigan Athletic chairman and Mansfield Town chief arrives at the University of Bradford Stadium in a newly created role after leaving the One Call Stadium in July last year. The 32-year-old was appointed the Stag's director of football in May 2020 before being named chief executive 5 months later, a role he held for close to 3 years." Now, that is something that a lot of people seem to be taking away from this, that it could potentially be happening at Bradford City, coming in as the sort of director of football, head of football operations, and then in a couple months' time, when it's a slower transition, potentially becoming the chief executive. I think that would be massive for the football club. Obviously, no one has left. This is just an extra pair of hands on board. Having began his career as a director at the DW Stadium in December 2014, Sharpe was named chairman of the Latics following Dave Whelan's resignation in March 2015. He will now work alongside City's first team manager Graham Alexander, head of recruitment Stephen Gent, and head of academy Mark Litherland in a move to expand and enhance the club's football operations. On joining the Bantams, Sharpe said, "I am very happy to be here. I've been speaking with Ryan, obviously Sparks, and it was something that really appealed to me. I think it's been confirmed in the past that them two were always really close friends, because they were two of the younger CEOs and executives, these sort of higher senior roles at football clubs. They were two of the younger people to be employed in their positions in the Football League. I've always loved coming here, and it is a place I have always looked at fondly from afar while at Mansfield. I have a bug for football, and it would be hard to say no to this opportunity when it came about. I know the level quite well now, which will stand me in good stead, but every football club is different. I have held initial conversations with Graham Alexander and Stephen Gent, and our thoughts are very similar. It is clear to me we have some really good people here. I told Ryan what I think we can achieve, and also where we need to be better on and off the pitch, in having a long-term plan and project that we have to put in place. I'd like to thank Ryan and Stefan Rupp for their support and for giving me the opportunity to come and hopefully be a part of something special at Bradford City. I cannot wait to get going, and the hard work starts now." The club's chief executive officer Ryan Sparks added, "I am pleased to welcome David to our club in what is a new role for us. This is a position that I've been looking to add to our football department for some time, and following my conversation with Stefan last week, I now have the resources to be able to do so. I am always keen to bring the best talent to our organisation, and David represents another great addition to Bradford City. He will be working alongside our manager and head of recruitment, Graham and Stephen, as well as our head of academy, Mark Litherland. We are all really looking forward to what will be an important yet exciting summer period. I have known David for some time. Over the years, we've had several conversations, particularly when he was running one of our rivals, Mansfield Town. I think he should have added one of our league rivals, not one of our actual rivals, but it's just a small detail, really. We can't really complain about that, and we are very much aligned in our thinking. I would like to take this opportunity to wish him well and hope you will join me in giving him a warm welcome to the club. And you look at some of the players that Mansfield have signed over the last couple of seasons, the sort of age range between, you would probably say, 20 to 27, that sort of younger but proven players. You look at Davis Keeler-Dunn, who came in from Burton, Louis Reed, who came in from Swindon, Bailey Cargill, who came in from Forest Green. There's a couple of ones on there. Obviously, they had Will Swan on loan originally, then they made that one permanent in the summer. They've made some really, really good signings. Hiram Boateng was one who came in maybe a little bit before that, but they have had some really, really good signings, and I'm hoping now we can get these more proven players in who've got a little bit of pedigree at this level, and we can scrap this sort of club policy of waiting until the end of the season before giving out new contracts. I've actually watched David Sharpe's full interview with the football club, and that is not necessarily what he meant when he mentioned contracts, but contracts was something that he mentioned in there, and I'm hoping we do like what Mansfield do, where maybe the contracts are a little bit shorter term, but you extend them around this sort of period in the season while there's still games left to play, and you're not potentially going to lose them on a free transfer in the summer. And I think that would be really good for us. Obviously, not everyone is going to agree on everything. You've got an extra body thrown in there now in terms of our recruitment. We all know that we've got a number of people currently occupying them roles, and everyone has to agree before you get a signing in. It's kind of going to be interesting to see who has the ultimate decision. Obviously, you would assume Graham Alexander, but who has more power between David Sharpe and Stephen Gent? Does Gent go out and scout the players and then send them to Sharpe, who'll maybe review them a bit further before going through to Graham Alexander? I'm not really too sure. But again, we have to nail down an identity, and we have to nail down a philosophy, because Graham Alexander, if it continues how it's currently going, probably won't be here this time next season. If we're being realistic, he's probably not going to be. And with you, when you normally get a change of ownership or change of someone in these senior sort of positions, you do see managerial changes quicker than maybe what you would expect. And under Mark Hughes, we were very much a possession-based team, and now under Graham Alexander, we're much more of a long ball direct team. And if you're recruiting for a possession-based team like we did last summer, and now we're recruiting for a much more direct system, if we then get rid of Graham Alexander and bring Richie Wellings in, for example, you're then going back to a possession-based team. So we need to get an actual identity, and it needs to be the long-term plan to play that way. And the manager, whoever it is, has to play that football, because that is how we've recruited towards. Like, our squad is so unbalanced. We've got some players who suit direct football, some players who suit playing out from the back. It's just all a bit of a mishap, and I'm hoping now that we've got someone with David Sharpe's experience in there. While he is young, he's had a very, very good successful time at Mansfield and Wigan Athletic as well. I'm hoping now we can not make these silly decisions like what we have done recently, giving out these long-term contracts to players who are very, very unproven, and I'm just hoping that this works out, because on paper it is a good appointment and the club deserve credit for that, but we all know in the past, just because it looks good on paper doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come to fruition and end up being a good appointment for the football club. When Stefan Rupp did his open letter to the Bradford City fans, there was a lot of talk in there, and a lot of people kind of just dismissed it really and was waiting to see for some action. This is some action, but it's action that we kind of knew was going to happen. This was one of the few actual promises that Stefan Rupp made in that letter. A lot of the other stuff just seemed to be kind of hot air and going around certain topics without actually making concrete decisions on certain things. So we'll have to wait and see what further happens. Does it change much in terms of if you want to change your season ticket, if you're actually going to get a season ticket, or if you're still going to stay away from the club? Let me know that sort of stuff down in the comment section down below, because for me personally, I think I was always going to renew. You know, it's just kind of out of bad habit, probably more than good habit, having to go to Valley Parade every fortnight, but I probably would have renewed regardless. I think this is a good appointment. It's exciting. It will be really interesting to see how we recruit in the summer, with Stefan Rupp promising that he's going to be spending more money on the club and enabling us to get some better players in, having a bigger budget. I think having someone like Sharpe, who has got that experience of spending budget well, whereas recently we haven't. We've spent it awfully. Look at our summer recruitment, and even the January recruitment. While January was a little bit better, the summer recruitment was absolutely terrible, and not many teams chasing promotion would have signed a lot of them players. You know, what I would say actually as well with David Sharpe, I was really impressed with the detail that he already knows about a lot of our players. He mentioned that Alex Patterson has only made the 6 appearances this season, and for someone who's just come in as head of football, you wouldn't expect them to know about a player who's not really played much, if that makes sense. Maybe Mansfield were trying to sign him in the summer, and that's why he's kept a close eye on him, but you don't really hear from some of the staff going into that much detail. And to say he's only been here, I mean, he's probably been there a couple of days. Obviously, it was only announced this morning, but he already knows that sort of level of detail about someone who's not really played much this season. For maybe my standards are really low, but I was actually quite impressed by that. Before I end today's video, one final thing I do just want to quickly touch on. Ryan Sparks did an interview with Jamie Rayner, and he basically said we're a data-informed football club, and it does help us make the right decisions as often as possible in terms of who you bring in and then who you let go as well. So no, I don't think it's been a necessary step, and there are a number of examples across the Football League of clubs that have a director of football, and it doesn't necessarily give you a clear line to success either. I think every club structure is different. Then obviously he said in today's article that this is a position I have been looking to add to our football department for some time. So again, classic Ryan Sparks contradicting himself, but I'm happy for him to contradict himself if it means that we're getting someone like David Sharpe, because I think it's a really, really good appointment for the football club. I think they deserve a lot of credit for it. It's a start. There still needs to be more change. There still needs to be people leaving the football club, in my opinion. Hopefully that happens very soon, but I'm excited to see how we recruit now in the summer when we've got someone with Sharpe's experience and he's previous track record of signing some really, really good players for decent deals at this level. Obviously, he left Mansfield in the summer, I believe, to focus on family business. He realised in July, February this year that he's got a little bit more time. So we've done really well to get him in through the door, and I'm excited to see how the club progresses further going forward with him in charge. And I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 100 likes. As I said at the start of today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below on this appointment and what it potentially means for someone like a Ryan Sparks or a Stephen Gent. Do you see them sticking around for the long term? I personally hope that they're gone pretty soon. But thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.